House. Now it's time for John Bolton, the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, served as national security advisor in the first Trump administration. Ambassador Bolton, if Israel does strike Iran, what happens after that?
Well, look, this is part of a long story that's been going on for 25 years of a U.S. effort, along with others like Israel, to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons. It's something they agreed in a treaty not to do, but they've been pursuing it anyway. Israel's faced with a very difficult situation. You know, it's a small country, half a dozen nuclear weapons, no more Israel. They view that as the equivalent of a nuclear holocaust, and they don't plan on letting it happen. The Iranians have led the rest of the world along for about 25 years, and they're now very close to having a nuclear weapon. And the question is there a negotiated way out? I don't think so. Under any terms that should be acceptable to the United States. We will know a little bit more after Sunday, but I don't think those negotiations are going anywhere. So we will be close to a point where Israel has to make a decision. I don't know what it will be exactly, but the decision basically will be, do they try to take out the Iran nuclear weapons program, or do they acquiesce in Iran becoming a nuclear weapons state?
What would you say about the risk of all-out war in Iran? There's a piece at Newsweek, I have it on this tablet, we'll put it up on the screen, that listed these 5 reasons that war with Iran could be imminent, with Israel on high alert, the evacuations ramping up from U.S. personnel, the nuclear compliance crisis, Iran's missile modernization, and the breakdown of the talks. So what's the real risk here?
Well, I don't think this is a question of widespread war. I think what Israel will do if it strikes is go after some or all of the 17 known nuclear facilities in Iran, facilities working on the weapons program. It won't be a general attack at all. And it's very unclear what Iran will do other than retaliating against Israel again. And part of the Israeli initial attack will be to reduce Iran's capability to do that. There are risks involved, there's no doubt about it. But I think one question for the Gulf Arab states and for the United States and others as well is, would you rather face Iran before it gets nuclear weapons or after it gets nuclear weapons?
How close is it now?
I think it's very close. And I think Israel really has to make an existential decision in the next, I would say, 60 days anyway. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but I think that decision is close. Not that it's a rushed decision. As I said, this follows a 25-year-long process to try and keep Iran from getting to this point.
What about these negotiations? You mentioned Sunday with Witkoff and company and what the administration wants to accomplish. And what's realistic to expect now with all that's going on?
Well, there's been no movement in the Iranian position that they want to have a domestic uranium enrichment capability. That's the ability to get uranium to a concentration of the U-235 isotope that they can build nuclear weapons. And the administration's position is absolutely not. That is the right position. There's no compromise. This is not like splitting the difference. It's either they can enrich uranium inside Iran or they cannot. And for our safety and the safety of everybody else, that's the right position. We should not depart from it.
You know, Ambassador Bolton, thank you. We'll monitor it, obviously, as always. John Bolton with us today.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.